I'm John. Welcome to Mr. G's Workbench and part 8 of the A-18 step-by-step build. Today we're going to jump into step 22 in the instructions. Looks to be the horizontal stabilizers, the twin tails, the air brake, and the rest of the hump behind the cockpit, the turtle deck, whatever that might be called. Somebody will point that out to me in the comments, I hope. And the wingtip missile rails. We'll get all that done today. I also managed to get the instrument panel combing on. I'll explain how I did it finally, and I'll give you a look at how the windscreen fits and what I'm going to do to kind of get it to fit a little better, I hope. So we'll jump into that. Before we get started with that, I wanted to thank a new subscriber, John, down in Aussie land, who pointed out a few things to me about this aircraft. First was my awful pronunciation of the name of it. It's Warami. Warami is the name of the local tribe where the aircraft was based, Williamstown, New South Wales. So that name was meant as a tribute to Indigenous people across Australia and not just one specific pilot. Thank you, John, for giving me a little more perspective on the jet, and I hope that I can do you proud. So let's keep going with it. And we'll take a look at what we've got. And before we do that, one last thing, as always, is my YouTube rant. If you're not a subscriber, I hope you'll subscribe. Join the rest of the cool kids and sign up. Just all you got to do is hit subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll be notified every time I put out a new video. And as always, questions, comments, suggestions, you can put them down in the comments below. Or you can email me, mrgsworkbench@gmail.com. I'm always open to new ideas, and hopefully we'll keep growing together, okay? I hope this channel grows to the point where everybody is liking what they see. And the only way I know if I'm doing that is through your feedback. So by all means, I accept positive and negative feedback. I don't block comments. They're all fair game, all right? So let's jump into the kit. So here we go with step 22. We'll work from the top down. I'll show you what we've got. Now, since we're doing the 18A, we're using 04 and 06. There you go. And we've got 05 and 06. There you go. We've got the speed brake, A-10. We don't need the actuator because we're not extending it. Then we've got our horizontal stabilators, what have you, A6 on both sides. Since we're doing the 18A, again, now we've got I1 is going to be the remainder of the hump. And then we've got the wingtip rails, E85, E86. Now, they would have you, since it's an aggressor, in the instructions, F1. I know those are sensors to simulate missiles. I think we're going to be using one. I've got a couple of pictures of the plane with equipment on it, so we'll sort that out. But that's what we've got. We'll jump into that. Let me show you the instrument panel combing and what I did, and I'll show you the windscreen first. I've got the instrument panel combing installed. I was going to paint it first, but I know that I was going to have to put glue on it and stuff. I would have messed it up, and it would have needed to be painted again anyway. I've got it set down pretty well. If you remember the last time I showed you, every time I pressed down on it, it clicked and popped back out. Click, pop back out. What I wound up doing was, the first thing I did was I got rid of the two tabs that are locating for it. You don't really need them because, I mean, there's only one place for it to go. It's going to sit in this recess, and it sits on top of the instrument panel. So what I did to improve the fit of it was I took a chisel-bladed X-Acto knife and I scraped away material on the inside top of the combing to give the instrument panel a little more room. I also gave the top of the instrument panel a quick sand just to level that out. Then I went back and I test fitted it again, and it fit. And it was just a matter at that point of brute force. I taped it down, and then I ran a bead of Tamiya extra thin around the perimeter of the combing. Left it to dry, and very happy with that. You can see that on the other side. It sits nice and flat now. No more issues, no clicking, so that's in there. The next thing I'm going to have to concern myself with is getting the windscreen on. There's 2 tabs at the back of the windscreen that locate into 2 slots here, which is actually kind of ingenious because it helps you to kind of ferret in so that it sits well. And I've got it just about, as flat as it's going to get. I took a coarse sanding stick and ran it around this entire area, this sill that the transparency sits on. Everything forward of those 2 slots, I went in and I sanded it. Evened it out, because obviously here I think it was a little uneven due to the super glue that I had put in to fill that gap with the refueling probe door. That was just awful. Then I took the windscreen and I ran a sanding stick on the bottom, and I just kind of kept doing that. And one of the things I was trying to address was there was a good steep angle forward of here on the windscreen. I tapered that down a little because I found that this was kind of tending to want to point up. I took as much material off as I dared. I rounded the front off a little by running a sanding stick this way, and got where I'm at now. I think once I actually apply glue to this and get it in nice and flat, I think it'll sit well. Biggest issue with this now is going to be, let me see if you can see it. Look at that seam. Look at that seam. And needless to say, there's a corresponding seam on the canopy as well. I am terrible at this, but I'll clean it up today and I'll show you how I'm going to do it, and then we can all judge the results together. So there's step 22. Simple enough. Got the horizontal stabilators in. They're done. They went in like worry-free. The tails went on. I don't have them glued in because I'm going to paint them separate because they're going to be insignia blue. The wingtip rails are in. Again, no issues there. And I got the turtle deck here, or please correct me if there's a different terminology for that. But I've got that in, and the only thing I might do is I might hit that with a little white putty just to clean up that seam a little bit. That's it. So next time we get together, it's all about the windscreen and canopy. So like I said, I've got the canopy cleaned up. I've got the windscreen cleaned up. It's going to be open canopy. So we'll just assemble it, and I think we're going to have a piece to paint for the inside. Same thing on the windscreen. I'm going to paint just the inside brace there, and we'll get the cowling painted up. and we'll get the HUD installed so we can install the windscreen. All right. Thanks again, as always, for stopping in, and I will see you guys next time.